Some moments don't need words, they just need warmth. And sometimes, the stranger sitting next to you ends up showing you what your heart has been missing all along. It started on Flight 728 from New York to San Francisco, where two people different in every possible way found themselves sitting shoulder to shoulder, 30,000 feet above the clouds. One was a tired single dad, exhausted from juggling night shifts and fatherhood. The other was a CEO whose world revolved around control, deadlines, and success. Until that flight changed everything. Ethan Hall pressed his forehead against the cold airplane window, his eyes heavy from another sleepless night. He'd worked overtime as a mechanic just to afford this trip. His daughter, Lily, was in San Francisco for a school robotics competition, and he promised he wouldn't miss it. His clothes were neat but simple, and there was a quiet humility in the way he carried himself. He wasn't used to luxury, not even the faint smell of first-class perfume wafting from the seat next to him. When the last passenger boarded, he noticed her sharp navy blazer, heels that probably cost more than his monthly rent, and a pair of eyes that held the weight of 1,000 expectations. Amelia Grant, CEO of a major tech company, slid into the seat beside him. Her assistant had insisted she take the early flight to attend a merger meeting. She didn't want to talk. She didn't want to think. But fate, as always, had other plans. For the first half hour, they didn't speak. Amelia typed furiously on her laptop while Ethan sat quietly, reading Lily's handmade card from last night, crayon hearts, stick figures, and a simple message: "Can't wait to see you, Daddy." He smiled to himself, unaware that Amelia had stopped typing. Her eyes drifted toward the little drawing in his rough, calloused hands. "You have a daughter?" she asked softly, surprising herself. "Yeah," Ethan said, his voice warm. "Lily. She's 10. Smart as a whip. Competes in robotics tomorrow." Amelia smiled faintly. "That's impressive." "She's the best thing I ever built," he said with quiet pride. Something in his words tugged at her. Maybe it was the way he said built, not raised or loved. Built, like every piece of his world revolved around that little girl. It made her chest ache in a way she couldn't explain. As the plane climbed higher, the hum of the engines became a lullaby. Amelia's exhaustion finally caught up with her. She leaned back, eyes heavy. Before she realized it, her head tilted and came to rest on Ethan's shoulder. Ethan froze. Her perfume was soft, jasmine and rain. Her breathing evened out against his arm, and for a moment, he forgot about everything: the overtime, the bills, the loneliness. He wanted to move, but something about her peace, something he rarely saw in anyone, made him stay still. 2 hours passed. The world outside was just endless clouds and sky. Ethan dozed off too, their heads leaning gently together like two souls finding balance midair. When Amelia woke up, sunlight flooded the cabin. She blinked, realizing her head was still on his shoulder. Mortified, she sat upright. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." "I didn't mean to." "It's okay," Ethan chuckled. "You probably needed it." She stared at him. No judgment. No awkwardness. Just kindness. The kind she wasn't used to. But what happened next melted her heart completely. The captain's voice came on, announcing turbulence ahead. The plane jolted, and Amelia's hand instinctively gripped the armrest. Ethan noticed her trembling fingers and reached over, hesitantly, covering her hand with his. "You're okay," he said quietly. "Just hold on." She didn't pull away. She couldn't. His hand was rough, warm, and grounding. For someone who lived in a world of control, spreadsheets, and boardrooms, Amelia realized she hadn't felt safe in a long time. Not like this. Not with anyone. When the turbulence settled, neither of them spoke for a while. The silence wasn't awkward, it was human. Then Amelia said something she hadn't told anyone in years. "I was supposed to have a family once," she whispered, looking out the window. "But I chose my company instead. I thought I could have both someday. Now I'm not so sure." Ethan didn't give her sympathy. He just said, "Sometimes we don't lose people, we just get too busy to notice they were slipping away." She turned to him, eyes glassy. No one talked to her like that. No one dared. The plane began descending into San Francisco. She glanced at his old, cracked phone screen where a picture of him and Lily shone through. They were sitting on a picnic blanket, smiling with ice cream on their noses. "She's lucky to have you," Amelia said softly. He smiled. "Nah. I'm the lucky one. When they landed, people began to rush out, but Amelia stayed. Something in her didn't want the moment to end. Would you let me buy you and Lily dinner? As a thank you. For, letting me drool on your shoulder. Ethan laughed. Only if you don't call it drooling. Amelia grinned for the first time in days. Deal. 2 nights later, she met Lily, a bright-eyed girl who immediately handed Amelia a paper robot and said, "You look like the boss of everything." Amelia laughed until she cried, and when she watched Ethan cheering for his daughter at the robotics competition, clapping like she just won the world, Amelia realized something deeper than she expected. Success didn't always look like boardrooms and stock tickers. Sometimes, it looked like love in its simplest, most ordinary form. As the crowd erupted when Lily's team took first place, Amelia glanced at Ethan, who had tears in his eyes. "Looks like she's got your spirit," Amelia said. Ethan nodded. "And your drive." They shared a quiet look, two people who met by accident but fit like they'd been meant to find each other. Later that evening, as they walked toward the parking lot, Amelia stopped and looked up at the sky, soft pink clouds fading into gold. "Funny," she said. "I spent years trying to reach the top of the world. Turns out, I had to fall asleep at 30,000 feet to finally see what mattered." Ethan smiled. "Sometimes life's best connections don't need Wi-Fi." Amelia laughed, a real, heart-deep laugh, and as they walked off together, Lily skipping ahead, the world felt a little smaller, a little kinder, because love, sometimes, isn't about falling fast. It's about two tired souls finding rest on the same shoulder, at the same time, somewhere high above the clouds.